Good morning students. This session is for class 8. Students, in previous class we have completed the concept of force. Okay. And the next topic of your chapter is friction. So today we are going to study in detail about friction. You can see the topic on your screen, that is friction. So let's see what is friction. You can see here. This is the topic of today's discussion. This is friction, and we all know that friction is a force that opposes motion. This is the very basic information about the friction. We all know, or you can say we all are aware about this one, that is a force that opposes the motion is known as friction. This is the very basic and very normal definition about the friction. It is based on the nature of the frictional force actually. Okay, so before starting this topic, we are here to see the objectives of this session. So let's see what are the objectives. The first one is we will explain why friction occurs. Okay, we will discuss, or you can say we will explain in this session why friction occurs. Then we will list two types of friction and give examples of each type, and after that we will explain how friction can be both harmful and helpful. So these are the objectives of this session, and I am sure after completion of this session we will fulfill these objectives. Okay, so let us start with the topic. You can see here the first question related to the topic is what is friction. So students, I hope you know what is friction. So pause this video and try to note down about friction. Let's check what we have already know about the friction, because you have learned something about friction in your previous classes. So let's see what is friction. The definition is given here. Friction is a force that opposes motion between the two surfaces that are in contact. So you can see this is the very basic information, very basic definition of the friction. It is characteristic based definition. So friction, you can say friction is a force, or you can say friction is a natural force which always try to oppose the motion between two surfaces in contact. And it is also known as the adjustable force because it always adjusts its direction opposite to the motion. Okay, so if the surfaces changes their direction of motion, it also have ability to change its direction opposite to the motion. So you can say it always opposite to the direction of motion. Okay, and try to oppose the motion. Now you can see here in this process friction is used for catch burning of this matchstick, and in this case these polar bears slide down due to less amount of friction here. So many times friction is useful and sometimes it is harmful also. So let's see. Here we are ready to understand when does friction occur. So let's see when does friction occur. This slide is very important to understand about the friction. So you can see here the statement that is friction occurs when two surfaces are in contact and try to move on each other. You can add the statement here. Friction occurs when two surfaces are in contact and try to move on each other. So you can add that statement, additional statement here. Now you can see in this figure there are two objects. Let me give them name. Suppose this one is object A and this one is object B. Okay, so you can say, you can see the object A is ready to slide over the surface of object B if pushing force is quite large. or you can say it is enough to move this object A on the surface of B. Okay, so you can see here the direction of motion of object A. But I want to tell you one thing that is very important here. There may be three cases in this motion. So let us talk about the first one. I am going to talk about first one. So let's see about first one. What is this case? Suppose there is no pushing force. Suppose this force is not applied here. So you are sure that there is no motion. If no force is here and no motion is there, then friction between these two surfaces are zero. So friction in this case is taken as 0. So this one is the first case. These two objects are in contact, you can see here, but no force is applied and there is no motion. It means the friction between these two objects is 0. So this is the first case. Now we are ready to understand the second case. So I am erasing these things because it will make you confused. So we have already discussed first case. Now we are going to discuss the second case. So let's see what is second case. Suppose force is applied here in second case, but there is no motion. It may be possible because if pushing force is not quite enough, so the object A will not move on the surface of B. So there will be force but there is no motion. So in that case there is friction between these two surfaces, and this frictional force is exactly equal to the pushing force. So if you write pushing force like capital F and the force of friction is small f, so you can write this one and with negative sign. Negative sign shows that the force of friction is opposite to the applied force. You can see the direction of this force, that is force of friction, is opposite to the applied force capital F. So you can write this relation, that is pushing force is exactly equal to the frictional force but in opposite direction, or you can say frictional force is exactly equal to the pushing force but in opposite direction. So this one is the second case when there is no motion but force is applied on the object. Okay, so I hope you understand the case number 1 and case number 2. Now we are ready to understand the third point. So let's see, I am erasing first these points to make you understand the third case. So this one is the objective. Now in third case we consider that pushing force is here. Now in this case pushing force is enough for motion, so motion is also here. So if motion is there, it means this pushing force capital F must be larger than the frictional force. Okay, must be larger than this opposite frictional force. So you can write the net force acting on body is F, that is pushing force, minus small f. Okay, and in this case the object A will move towards right. So student, this one is the third case. So what is conclusion of this discussion? So students, conclusion of this discussion is the frictional force can have values from 0 to some certain value, and it can never be greater than the pushing force. It can be either 0 or it can be equal to the pushing force, but it cannot exceeds the pushing force. मतलब यहाँ पे कि कभी भी ऐसी कंडीशन नहीं आएगी कि जो आपका पुशिंग फोर्स है वो लेस हो जाए फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स से. ये रिलेशन कभी भी ट्रू नहीं हो सकता है. दिस इज द conclusion of this discussion. This is very important conclusion. Pushing force either greater than or equal to the friction. This statement is true, means you can write like this, that is capital F is either greater or equal to the friction, but their directions are opposite, so you can use the negative sign here that negative sign related to the direction of the force. So if we are talking about the magnitude, the pushing force must be either greater or equal to the friction. If pushing force is equal to the friction, there is no motion but force is applied, and if pushing force is greater than the friction, there will be motion in the direction of the pushing force. Okay, so this is the discussion. This is very important discussion about the friction, and I hope you understand the concept, when friction works, when friction does not works. So there is one another important point, that is there may be friction even if object is in rest on the surface of the another, and the case when a pushing force is working on the object A but object A is in rest. So in this case object A is in rest, but there is friction between the two surfaces of the object A and B. So it is not necessary that the friction is working only between two objects moving on each other, but it can be when they are in rest on each other, but there must be a pushing force working on one of the object. Now you can see here, this is our personal experience, that liquid and the gases also try to oppose the motion of the objects, and I hope you have your personal experience about this during swimming. You have felt that this water, or you can say any liquid, try to oppose the motion of object, and similarly during cycling you have experienced that the air try to oppose your motion. It means the liquid and the gases also resist the motion of object, or you can say they also produces friction. So you can say when a liquid or gas is pushed out of the way of moving object, they also produces friction. Now why does friction occurs? This is the question. This is very important question. So let us understand why does friction occurs. So you can see here, because the hills and valleys of a surface are in contact with the hills and valleys of other surfaces, this produces friction. So student, you know that any surface is not completely smooth, but by using microscope, if you see this surface which looks like the completely smooth, will appears like this. Okay, so by using microscope, the surfaces are like this. You can see hills here, here hills and valleys are, so you can see peaks and the depth here, the name are given as hills and valleys, a peak and depth. So you can see this one is the actual surface, which by naked eye looks like this, smooth. Okay, so if two objects are in contact, hills and valleys of one object is hills and valleys of both of the objects are come in contact, and they interlocked into each other. Okay, so you can see if you can draw the structure like this. This one is one of the surface and second surface is like this. It may be a possibility. I am not talking about this is actually in all the cases, but this may be one of the possibility of the two surfaces are in contact. So this one is one of the surface, that is suppose A, body A, and this one is another body B. Now you can see when they are in contact, the hills and valleys of their surfaces are interlocked each other. Now if you try to move this object B by applying force, you can see these these try to oppose the motion, okay, or you can apply force in this direction. You can see it is very difficult to move in this direction. So since they interlocked each other, so this try to oppose the motion, or you can say it tries to object remains in rest. So this is the cause behind the friction between two objects, okay. So this is the cause. I hope you understand the cause of the friction. Now you can see here a box want to move in this direction, but the frictional force is always opposite to the direction of the motion. So you can see here friction is a force that moves in an opposite direction to the movement. We have already no idea about this statement. So let's see the next one. The factors on which friction depends on. So let's see what are the factors, and these factors are important. So I hope you know about the factors, and you can write down the factors on which friction can depends. It is your personal experience, and I hope you all know about this. If you have idea about these factors, you can write down in your copy and you can check the answers. So first one, you can see the roughness of the surface, okay. So you can see if surface is rough or smooth, then friction is accordingly large or less, you can say. So if friction is if surface is very rough, friction will be high. If surfaces are smooth, then it is quite less than the rough surfaces. So it means friction depends upon the nature of the surface. You can say nature of the surface here, and nature means it may be rough or smooth. So friction depends on nature of the surface. Second point is force that objects are being pressed one against the other. So this force is known as the weight. So you can say it is also depends upon the weight of the object, okay. So it means friction depends, first one is on the nature of the surfaces in contact, and second one is the weight of the object which is placed on the another. So friction depends on these factors. So what increases the friction? Again, if you increase the roughness of the surface, friction will increase. So we are talking about the increasing and the factors which try to increase the friction, okay. So roughness is one of the factor which increase the friction, and second, weight. If you increase the weight of the weight of the object, then friction will increase. So you can see the factors that are roughness and the weight of object are responsible for increasing friction. Now what does the amount of surface depends on? So let's see. Actually this one is the friction. Here note down friction. So you can see here the amount of friction depends on how well the surfaces grip each other, okay. So you can see tires on a road have very high friction, they don't slip. If friction is large, so the probability of slip is very less, okay. So you can see here tires on the road have very high friction, so they will not slip. Second, skates on the ice have very low friction, so they can slip easily. you can see in a liquid or a gas. So let us talk about the friction in liquid and gases. So you can see here, for a liquid object moving through a liquid or gas, sorry, for a solid object moving through a liquid or gas, the amount of friction depends on the shape and surface area of the object. So this one is very important. When a solid object try to move through a liquid or gas, then the friction depends upon the following factors. First one is the shape, second one is the surface area of the object, and the viscosity, that is thickness or thinness of the liquid. So this one is the characteristic property of the liquid, and I hope you know, like you have seen honey and water. So you can easily check the flow of water and honey. You know, water flow easily and honey does not flow easily because viscosity of honey is very high as compared to the water. So that is the characteristics known as viscosity. So friction also depends on these factors, that is viscosity of the liquid. Okay, but if liquid is same, suppose in water we are talking about, so if water, a solid object, is moving, then friction depends on its shape and surface. Okay, now if you increase the density of this liquid, like you change this liquid by honey, then friction is more than the case of water. So the friction in case of liquid depends on these factors, that is shape of the object, then surface area, and after that viscosity. So these are the most important points related to the friction in case of liquid and gases. Now let's see what are the types of friction. So you can see here there are two types of friction. First one is kinetic friction, second one is static friction. Okay, we will study more types of friction because we will get some other different types of friction are also present, but here we are giving the name that are kinetic and static. Kinetic means when one of the object is moving on the surface of the other object, it is moving, and when it is rest, then that is known as static friction. Okay, so I hope you know the terms are used, that is kinetic is used for the motion and this one is used for the rest. So by using these term you can understand. Kinetic means the friction working between two layers when one of the object or both of the object are moving in contact with each other, and this static, this term is used when both of them are in rest on each other but some force is applied on any one of the object. So in that case the friction is working is known as static friction. Okay, so you can see here what is kinetic friction. So kinetic friction is the friction between two moving surfaces. You can see here, this is very simple definition, very simple. If two surfaces are in contact and they are moving on each other, then the friction between the two surfaces is known as the kinetic friction. Okay, now in this case you can see sliding and rolling. So you can see he is sliding on this surface and they are using here wheel are connected here. So this type of friction when a wheel is rotating on the surface is known as rolling friction. Okay, now what is static friction? So you can see here it occurs when a force is applied to an object but this object does not move. So you can see here this one is the object and this one is another object. Okay, they are in contact and a force is applied here, but there is no motion in any one of them. So in this case, the friction working between the two surfaces of this object is known as static friction. Okay, now in this figure you can see this one is the box, and this person try to move this box in one of the direction here, but you know that frictional force is always opposite to the direction of motion. It means it works here opposite to the direction of the motion, and if box is not in motion, it means this person is not able to apply the much amount of force to move this object. Then in that case, this frictional force must be equal to the applied force by the person, and the object is in rest. So this frictional force is known as static friction. When object is in rest, but there is a force applied on the object, in that case the friction working between the two surfaces are in contact is known as static friction. Now let's see if friction is good or bad. So friction can be good when we walk, we push backward against the ground. The opposing force pushes us forward. Without friction our feet would slip and walking would be impossible. तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि फ्रिक्शन गुड होता है, हो सकता है किसी केस में, और वॉकिंग में ये हेल्प करता है. बिना फ्रिक्शन के हम लोग वॉक नहीं कर सकते इजीली. तो अगर हम वॉकिंग की बात करें तो यहाँ पे फ्रिक्शन को हम लोग गुड कहेंगे. ठीक है, ये रोड है, ये पर्सन देखिए, ठीक है, ये इसका फीट और ये रोड, ये पुश कर रहा है. तो यहाँ पे वॉकिंग के लिए फ्रिक्शन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जिससे कि हम स्लाइड नहीं करें और इजीली मूव कर पाएँ. तो उस केस के लिए फ्रिक्शन को हम लोग कहेंगे इट इज़ गुड. अब देखते हैं टू स्टॉप योर बाइसिकल ब्रेक सिस्टम. तो यहाँ पे बाइसिकल को अगर स्टॉप करना है तो यहाँ पे ब्रेक लगाना होगा. ब्रेक लगाने के लिए फ्रिक्शन ज़रूरी है. तो यहाँ पे इस केस में भी यहाँ पे ये जो ब्रेक है और ये जो रिम है, इसके बीच में फ्रिक्शन वर्क करेगा और ये रुक जाता है. तो यहाँ पे फ्रिक्शन का यूज़ करके हम लोग साइकिल को रोक सकते हैं. तो यहाँ पे भी हम लोग फ्रिक्शन को कहेंगे गुड, इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. अब देखते हैं बट सम टाइम इट इज़ बैड. तो कौन कौन से टाइम्स हैं वो? सॉइल इरोजन कॉज्ड बाय विंड, ये फ्रिक्शन है. फ्रिक्शन ऑफ फ्लूइड की वजह से सॉइल इरोजन हो जाता है विंड की वजह से. तो ये एक बैड है, यहाँ पे फ्रिक्शन को बैड कहेंगे हम. होल्स इन योर शूज जीन्स, फ्रिक्शन ऑफ अ सॉलिड हाई फ्रिक्शन. यहाँ पे कॉन्टीन्यूसली यूज़ करने से चीज़ों को, अगर आप देखें जीन्स कंटिन्यू पहनते रहने से बॉडी और इस क्लॉथ में जो फ्रिक्शन होता है उसकी वजह से वो फट जाते हैं या उसमें होल हो जाता है, शूज़ में होल हो जाता है. तो ये सभी एग्जांपल्स हैं जब हम लोग फ्रिक्शन को बैड बोल सकते हैं. लैक ऑफ फ्रिक्शन इज़ डेंजरस टू, यू मे फॉल इन द फ्लोर, इज़ वेरी स्लीपी. तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं फ्रिक्शन अगर कम है तो वहाँ पे गिर सकते हैं आप, स्लीप कर सकते हैं. तो उस कंडीशन में भी फ्रिक्शन को बैड कहेंगे. अब देखते हैं कि फ्रिक्शन को रिड्यूस कैसे करते हैं. तो यहाँ पे देखिए ये सभी कुछ लुब्रिकेंट का यूज़ करके और ये बाल बेयरिंग्स हैं, इसको बना के फ्रिक्शन को रिड्यूस किया जाता है. और इंक्रीज़ कैसे करेंगे? तो इंक्रीज़ करने के लिए देखिए शू को स्पेशल टाइप का बनाते हैं. यहाँ पे ये टायर्स जो हैं ये रबर के टायर हैं. न्यू टायर्स में आप देखेंगे कि इनको काफ़ी रफ बनाया जाता है इंक्रीज़ करने के लिए फ्रिक्शन. तो आपके लिए होमवर्क है, आप लिस्ट बनाएंगे कि फ्रिक्शन को इंक्रीज़ और डिक्रीज़ करने के कौन कौन से तरीके हैं. 5 ways टू इंक्रीज फ्रिक्शन एंड 5 ways टू डिक्रीज फ्रिक्शन. ये आपका होमवर्क है, इसको आप कंप्लीट करेंगे और सबमिट करेंगे. So students, thank you for watching this session and I hope you understand the concept of friction, types of friction and how you can increase and decrease friction. Thank you for watching this session.